I felt that the women were excellent. They were better than excellent. They had refined their ability to communicate. They were very fast, so some of the pushback I got with some of my brand new people was that it went a little fast, and I had one native Russian person there, and she, although she speaks English, she felt it was sometimes a little bit quick for her ears. But other than that, it was very refined, very well organized, and frankly, I think Sonia and Dr. Dana McGrady and Sandy Ramos and I can't remember some of the other women, but they're all super excellent, superheroes, super women, super trainers, super amazing as far as I'm concerned. And to my great benefit, of course, which I'm eternally grateful for, as of yet, they haven't invited me to stand up there. I think I could balance the energy there a little bit with a little masculine energy, but it was frankly par excellent. Everything was covered, from the new products to the social media emphasis, the high-touch, high-tech emphasis, to, what does it really take in terms of the numbers. I think Sonia did an excellent representation in asking the question, do you think 150 people is a lot of people? And I was very interested to see the looks around the room. In fact, 150 people is not a lot of people, not when you understand duplication and how quickly you can get to the volume of a diamond with just 3 people duplicating 3 times. And you want to increase the speed. And that's, by the way, with everyone at 100 BV, coming in at 100 BV, just a core 3. So you're looking at what's it take to actually get to a diamond volume. And that's what Sonia went over, and she did it excellently. And she gave 3 precise examples. If 3 brought 3, and another example is if 4 brought 4, and one is if 5 brings 5. But the whole concept, beyond just the mathematics of that, as we all know, in the real world, it doesn't work exactly like that. But it does work. And math doesn't lie. Math is black and white. So it can work differently than that. It can be, you can accelerate it. What if there's a platinum amongst one of the 4 people that someone brings in? But if it's a gold and a platinum, what happens to your numbers then? Going to diamond is a direct result of duplication, not of endlessly recruiting customers, both, but prospecting and recruiting, and literally, most of all, building those relationships that want to work with you. So she did an excellent job of illustrating how we get to 150, and then if each bought 100, how many people would you need to actually get into diamond income, which was quite well done. I think I had taken pictures of the screens. I can forward them to you. It's pretty simplistic, but I can forward them to you, Christopher, for you to forward to everyone else in that regard, okay?
Cool.
What else?
Curious about the products. I'm curious about the products.
Right. The products, okay. Not a lot of emphasis on the products, and for good reason, in my opinion. Not a lot of emphasis on them. They were serving them, so I'll tell you what they are. There was a vanilla and a chocolate athlete shake, and I unfortunately I didn't write down the ingredients. All the ingredients, I'm not even sure the ingredients were listed on that shake. Let me just turn off my mobile phone so I know this one person's trying to get hold of me, and now we won't be able to hear the ring anymore. Okay, so the athletes shakes, one vanilla, one being chocolate. This was my personal hit on those shakes. They need to be less chalky, more creamy, and the chocolate has to be less flat, and the vanilla has to be stronger. That's just my opinion. You guys will get a chance to taste them at the trainings you're going to, but that was my opinion. I think they're going to be excellent. I cannot give you a sense of how they felt in my body. Impossible with just a 2-ounce sample. So I can't even tell you, but I love the idea. I love the idea because athletes, not all of them are into green, and not all of them are into the super meal. If we had something like this that was more like mainstream but was clean, excellent. So the third shake, or not, it wasn't a shake, I'm sorry. It was, I'll call it a drink, for lack of a better word, was beets, the beet juice concept. You know, beets are really big out there in the nutritional world right now for, you know, increasing circulation, blood circulation. And they added yerba mate. They added a little bit of caffeine through a green coffee bean extract. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, some maca. So maca, yerba mate, a little green coffee bean, and beets. And in coconut water, I loved that drink. A little bit of the pushback that I heard, you know, buzzing around was stevia. Somebody was saying the stevia was really strong, and I said I don't think so because there is no stevia in it. So the stevia is not strong. And then I came to the conclusion, having a good amount of experience with yerba mate, both yerba mate and maca, that they were contributing in combination with the beets. I'm sure they had that little, you know, aftertaste kind of feeling there, but nothing remarkable. And it will become a pre-workout drink, along with the aminos. So before someone goes to work out, they'll be able to take that drink in. Unfortunately, I can't tell you much about the vanilla and the chocolate shake, although my sense is that there's going to be an electrolyte input in there. I think I was hearing something about that at the end, maybe even some probiotics in there, but I don't want to say what they're like right now because I never got the scoop on absolutely every ingredient in the two shakes, the vanilla and the chocolate.
Wow. That's awesome. That beet drink, Michael, I've heard some feedback on that. I think that's going to be a real winner. And if you could if you could email or text David Litt and Amy just with your feedback, I think it's good to, you know, give them feedback.
I told everybody to do that, yeah. I mean, everybody who had their text, but yeah, I will definitely do that. Yeah, I will do that. Hmm?
Cool, yeah, send it over to Amy. Send it over to David Sandoval, too. I mean, that's the thing about this company, you know. I mean, people speak up here. We've been around the block, and they'll appreciate that. So, yeah, don't hesitate. Send that over to all three of them, David Litt, Amy, and David Sandoval. I mean, you know, we've been around the block.
I'm not sure I have David Sandoval's.
I'll give it to you,
yeah,
and you could even call him. He'll answer the phone. But
yeah.
Did you want to say any last things about that, Michael?
Just the one last thing I'd like to say that I like is that the company launches now at these trainings for us to taste and give feedback, because they're not going to launch it until they get some feedback from all of us. So I think that's phenomenal.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Why don't we see what questions are up, and then we can talk about something else. We'll just see what what's needs to be answered. So does anyone have any questions or comments or want to talk about a subject?
Hi, Christopher.
Yeah.
It's Janae. I have a question about the training coming up on April 1st.
Yeah.
Where is that located, and was there an email sent out about it?
Well, if you go on your home page under Lifestyle, and then it will say Events.
Okay.
Then April 1st, it's Paso Robles. Paso Robles is probably a couple hours north of, up the coast, kind of north of Los Angeles. So that will be Kathy, Agita, and Jody in their Paso Robles group. And those guys are incredible. Those Kathy and Jody are great. They came up here one time in Grass Valley. We had a lot of people, maybe 35 people or so, and it was just a fabulous time. So Kathy's been around for a long time, and so you'll meet some really cool people if you want to go down there April the 1st in Paso Robles. So you can find that.
Are we allowed to take people who are interested in joining but haven't yet signed up?
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, as long as they pay the registration. I think the thing is free. I don't even think there's a charge for that meeting.
Yeah, I think it's free.
Yeah, so if you can bring some people, that would be awesome. They can meet Kathy and Jody, and hopefully, I'm sure they'll have the new products there. I'm sure they will.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Yeah, I've met Kathy and Jody before. They're good. They're good people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Anyone else?
Sorry, one more question. I still have a friend who really wants to go to Unconvention with me.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get up the money to buy her a ticket to go because she's wanting to pay me back when she gets the money because I know she will.
Okay.
She's extremely interested in joining my team. She's just she's a single mom struggling, and she's a yoga teacher. So it's a definite for her. She's told me over 3 times. So is it 100? I know there's a website to go to, and I have yet to go to it, so this is probably my fault. But is it $100 for a person to get a ticket to the convention?
I'm not quite sure. It may be 100, but I think there's some work trades one can do.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some work trades, and I think it's only 3 hours a day or something. It didn't seem like a lot of time, so I would see if she could do a work trade, and then I also would just say, well, let's make your list now, and let's see if we can talk to some people right now just to let them know what you're up to. And, you could talk to some of her friends too, Janae, and just say, hey, I've been doing this thing, and, just maybe she could even make a little money. And, I mean, for $25, she can definitely get a membership kit for $25.
Yeah, but it's a little more than 25 because she'd have to buy like a Core 3 or something, right?
No, she can just use her gift card, get the kit, spend $25, and then go, try to get some people involved. And if she does that week, then she can just put her 50 BV order in and get paid. So she basically could start her business for $25, use the gift card, get a website, have her 5 gift cards, go out, see if she can get some people to do the cleanse, and as long as she gets that order in the same week, she'll get that commission.
So she doesn't have to buy the Core 3 or any product to become a member?
No, she can be a member without. Yeah, she can.
That's amazing. That's going to change a whole bunch of people's.
Yeah, I mean, for $25, you can get a world-class website and 5 gift cards and go out and promote. And if you make a sale, then you can place your order in that week and get paid.
I thought you had to buy a packet to get in.
No.
I didn't think you could just buy a membership. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's a common misconception that we really need to address that somehow and get it out there, because that is a common misperception and misconception. I've dealt with that directly many times now, realizing that I was at fault in not sharing that information, which could open up an entirely new network for people.
Yeah, that literally opened. I have a whole bunch of people who were like, hey, how much does it cost to get in? And I kept thinking that they had to buy either the Core 3 or something. I did not realize it was only $25. I'm going to have to tell some people this. That's going to that really opens a whole bunch of new doors.
Yeah, get them in the system and then start talking to their friends and just say, hey, we're all working together. You can get in for $25, and just so you know, once you get somebody on a Core 3, you're going to make $50, and then you can get your order in that week. As long as you get your order in that week, yeah.
Sweat equity can get you there. Is the point.
Okay.
Can I bring something up? Yeah, can I bring something up? This is Janice. Yeah, so I have done that over the years with people, and people in my different lines have also done that. The one thing I just want you to know, so you're not surprised, is that when someone does it that way, you're not going to make the bigger commission on the first order. Just so you know that. Okay? Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, that's
because you're. Yeah. I mean, because then somebody will go, oh, well, I'm going to get this commission, because your friend, for instance, is doing it that way. But that is the one thing you give up. You're, of course, supporting them getting into the business, and it's hard for them. But that you will not get that big commission. So when they finally do order some bigger things, you will get the smaller commission. not that first order
that's
one.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, just
And
so you know that.
Are
Yeah,
you
don't
sure on that,
surprise.
Janice? Are you positive on that?
I am.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it defaults to the 25% first order bonus, Christopher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So it's
okay.
just,
Well,
it's
that's
just
good to know. Good
Yeah,
information.
okay, so nobody's surprised. You know, you just don't want somebody thinking they're going to be getting something and they don't. So I just like to be clear. And most people are just, oh, I want my friend to do this. It doesn't matter, you know, whatever. But it's important to know that.
Well, that is good to know. I didn't even know that.
Okay.
Woo, this is a good call. Okay.
Well, that brings me up to another point, and people may not understand this. If you get somebody to use a gift card to get a retail product, and they buy the retail product, when they do become a member and get the packs, it's counted like a first order. So that's really cool. So you can get somebody to use their gift card and try some product, and then if they like it and they want to be a member and order a Core 3 or a Gold Pack or whatever, that's considered a first-time order, and you'll make that first-time fast grow. So that's really cool. So I don't know if everyone knew about that.
Oh, that's really cool. I had no idea about that.
Yeah, so that's really a good system. So hey, you can say to somebody, look, just try one of the products, and if you like it, you want to get involved, you can upgrade for $25. And then when they order that kit or whatever they order, it will be considered a first order. So that's a really cool thing.
So you would get the $50 bonus, like the bonuses.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Well, great. Now, does anyone else have a question or a subject they want to talk about, or? Apparently not. Hey, Michael, I just wanted to mention into the group that when people are getting people on to the cleanse now, what I'm doing is I have a standard letter that Joy Taylor made up, and I can resend that to everybody if they want to send it out to people, but it's just welcoming them and having them go to a video and talking about the flex foods. And, you know, Joy Taylor has that everyday email where you can sign up and get a video from Joy Taylor. And so I want to make sure people know about that. So that's one of the tools that I send out when somebody gets a cleanse, and I want to make sure everybody sees that letter. They could use it or take bits and pieces of it, but Joy Taylor, you can click on there and somebody can get a video from her. The other thing that I'm doing now, and I'm just upgrading my training skills. I'm sending the person the Mary Kay Milani training, because we want to start our people off right when they get on the cleanse. And basically what Mary Kay Milani does is she gets them to take the picture, post that they're doing it on Facebook, and she's really good at that. So if you haven't heard that training, make sure that you listen to that, or I'll resend it to you. And then I also, Kathy Aguita sent me all the videos from David Sandoval. So we have 10 videos that they can watch from David Sandoval. And then they have their, Monday through Friday support calls. And then they have basically their personal coach from their upline. So there's like all this tremendous support that we have for people that do the cleanses. And there's so much support there. And plus, we have our Tuesday calls if they want to get on this call. So that's what I've been doing. Christoph, a person under Pranada, brought in 2 people on the cleanse. And I think it's really important now that when we've been doing this enough, that we have some really great education and training from people that have, really succeeded in building their business by doing group cleanses. So if you haven't heard the Mary Kay Milani training tape, and if you haven't seen the email that Joy Taylor came up with when somebody gets on the cleanse, these are important things. And if we start people on the right foot, then they'll know what they're going to have to do, and they'll feel confident when they get somebody into the cleanse, because they'll have the support, they'll have the upline, they'll have the tools, and they'll be confident to bring people in, so they can do the same thing that we did with them. So I think it's important to get the duplicatable system set so people know what to do and what to expect, and what we do for them is what they're going to do for others. So, Pranada, did you want to say anything about, or anybody, has anyone heard that training from Mary Kay Milani? This is a lady that has a full-time job that built her business on her lunch breaks for a half hour and when she was driving to and from work. She's from Jamaica. She's very sharp, and she's a 2-star crown. And this was a training that I listened to, and she sent me the link. Has anybody listened to that, or does anybody want to comment just on how to make sure? And
where can we find it?
I'll email it to you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I've emailed it out to the group, but I can remail it out again. Does anyone want to comment, or has anyone heard that? Does anybody have any comments or feedback on what I just said?
I have a few comments, Christopher, about everything you just said, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so, yes, I thought her training was excellent. No question about it. In terms of how to orient a person into our community by looking, making sure that, there's a box opening celebration, that they understand what each product does for them and what part it plays in their transformation, to make sure that they know how to design a good testimonial, how to graphically design it with the weight, before and after pictures and all, the side view, the back view, the front view, and you can do that very nicely and very easily using a piece of free software called PicMonkey.com. You can put pictures together like that, and it makes it quite nice. It's called Pic, Monkey.com. You can play around with frames like that and add multiple pictures to one frame and then make it one graphic, or what is commonly known as a meme, and then post it on Facebook. So, yeah, I think she did a really, really good job. The one thing I want to emphasize, as much as there are all these very many tools, is that each of you get very clear about which ones you like best. Because what happens a lot, especially in this business, and because this company is so incredible, both in the field and on the company side, in terms of various tools that they are offering for us to work with, it can become overwhelming for the new person, especially for the new person. So, there's Joy's 11 videos, and there's David Sandoval's 10 videos, and I'm just telling you like it is. When I hear all this stuff, it actually, I get cuckoo because it's too much stuff for me. So I have to segment. And I segment by saying, okay, what tools do I like best when I prospect? Okay, next, what tools do I like best when I orient someone into their transformation or otherwise Core 3 or some other program? What template do I want to use and be consistent with? One thing, get good at one thing, get clear about what you like best to use, what tools work for you the best. David Sandoval's videos might be really cool for Janae, but I don't want to use them for my own personal reasons. I'd rather use Joy's videos or some others, that I like better. I might like to prospect just using the Farm to Family video, where Janae or Christopher might like to prospect using the product video or the business video, which again, as you all remember from last week, that depends on who's in front of you. Now I'm going to throw a monkey wrench into all of this. That may be helpful, I hope, because it's working for me, so that's what it works for me. I like to share. So I did that interview video, which was rather lengthy, Too long for most videos for people to sit through most videos. But here's how I use it. And I'm using it like a charm right now. It's 44 minutes long. So you don't want to tell someone, hey, why don't you look at this 44-minute video? In fact, the video only mentions Super Amino 23, but says nothing about Purium products or Purium company. Now, I was training someone this morning, a pastor, on how to do exactly what I'm going to share with all of you. You can test it. That's what I do. Test it to see if this somehow might work better for you. Here's my perspective on what happens when you send someone to the company video, to the company site, which is what a lot of people do. I very often I was sending people to either the Million Moms Movement page or the Farm to Family page. And I would pick, or the Athletes page, I would pick specific pages and send people to those pages. Be specific based on who's in front of you. But the problem that I found, not for me so much, but for other people, as I'm looking more deeply into how to get this thing to duplicate more efficiently, was that if I send them one page, don't they get to see all the rest of the stuff, and they can click all over the place? And here's what happens. You've just given up all your cards. You've lost all the intrigue, all the curiosity, all the tease about something you're really excited about that I just thought about you, Janae. I'm really excited about something that's really helped my family. I just want to get you a piece of information. Are you good with that? Yeah, I'm good with that. Okay. I'm going to send you one video. I'm going to send you one video, and I'm going to talk to you in a couple days. What have I said about the Purium company and Purium products? Nothing.
Nothing.
Intentionally, nothing. Because here's what the human mind is actually quite predictable. The human mind will go to a web page, and we all do this, and we start, at first we're interested in a given product. I want to buy those angel shoes. And I go to the angel shoes, and I'm almost there, and I'm ready to click the buy button, and then all of a sudden, within seconds, because most people are ADHD anyway, they go, especially on the internet, and because of the internet, then we go and we click somewhere else, because now, Michael Jordan's shoes came up. Here, let me help you with this, guys. This is so important, understanding how the human mind works. You send them to the Purium company page, and I know maybe David wouldn't like me saying this. It doesn't matter to me. This is your business. This is my business. You get good at your business and figure out what works. So when I was doing that, people would get lost. Oh, I'm not really, and then they make decisions. Oh, but that's an MLM. Oh, but that's got gluten in it. Oh, but that's whatever. I think you guys get the message here, right? We don't want people coming to conclusions before we even have an opportunity to build a relationship with them. You haven't even begun to build a relationship with them if you're sending them to a page on the website. So here's what I do. And this is a test right now, guys. I'm not saying this is going to be the answer to everything and all of our problems. But you test when you market, and you test and you retest. You find out what works. You find out by failing. You fail forward. You fall down. You get up. You do it again. You figure out something else that might work. Okay, here's what I did now. Let me just bring up I got to bring up the gentleman's chat message because I wanted you to get the exact words that I used. Let me just bring it up, and this is how it works. That little interview video, as odd as it is, and it's not because I'm pushing my interview. I don't care if you use another video. I'm just giving you an example here. I want you to understand how I'm doing this, the broader picture. And the broader picture is that I'm now saying this. I'm going to just use your name, Janae. You're on the phone. I say, Janae, I'm really excited about something that just happened to me, my family. It's taking care of my family. I'm really excited. I thought of you. I'm going to send you a quick video if that's good on you, and I'll call you in a couple days. You good with that? Great. Done. That's your first touch. In the training, they talked about 8 touches. I'm going to talk about that. Really important piece of the training I want to share with you. I know it's going to be a little bit longer call because I got to share this with you guys. It's going to help you. Trust me. So if I did that on the first touch by sending them one video, what I also say to them is, look, take 10 minutes of your time. Just get into it. Go as far as you can. I'm going to talk to you in a couple days. I'm not telling them it's a 44-minute video. I'm not telling them it's a half-hour video. And I'm not even telling them anything, but take 10 minutes, 15 minutes out of your time. Look at this video. I'll talk to you in a couple days. Then when a couple days passes, I call them up and I say, what did you think of that video? What did you like? Not think. I'm sorry, these exact words. What did you like about the information I shared? That exact script. What did you like? Not what did you think? How did you feel? None of those. What did you like about the information I shared? Oh, I didn't get to it. That's one response. Another response might be, yeah, I only got about 10 minutes, 15 minutes into it. Great. What did you learn? Oh, it was a little, he's talking about some kind of protein. What's this protein he's talking about? Because people won't know. It's chaos here now. We're creating chaos. Chaos is a quantum model. It creates organization. So when you go into chaos, you want to figure it out. So you want to organize. So the person's mind goes, I got to figure, so why did you send me this video on protein? And what is the story to share? You're building a relationship story. Yeah, there's this Italian scientist. He discovered this product. It's an incredible product. He discovered it 22 years ago. It's about protein. It's core central. This is the exact words I use. It's core central to a group of products I'm using that's changed my life and it's changed my family's life. Really? So what are these other products? Tell you what, let me just send you a couple videos. I'll talk to you in a couple days. Guys, we have to stop this mentality of pitching and selling, and we've got to get into this idea of we just want to create a relationship over time with multiple touches that brings them to their own conclusions and will have them asking you, so what's this protein? So what are these other products you just mentioned where this protein is core central to these other products? What are these other products? Let me send you a couple of videos. It's the philosophy. It's a based video, and then another video on some of the products I was talking to you about that surround this protein and how important these three products are. In other words, you say it how you figure out to say it, but I think you're getting the message here. What have I said about Purium products and the Purium company? Nothing. But by the second or third time I've touched them, now they're learning, oh, it's a Purium. What's this word Purium? Purium sounds like a radioactive particle. David Sandoval wouldn't like me saying this. I'm telling it to all of you. I had somebody say that to me, and I sat back in my chair, and I paused, and I said, God, you're right. It sounds like a radioactive particle. So my point is, there's a lot of perception and misperception, and perception and misperception creates reality. Our job is to create reality for people by touching them enough so that we get to create a relationship and share a storyline that helps bring them to a conclusion that, my God, I'd like to try this. I'd like to try that group of products. I'd like to start somewhere. So it takes 2 or 3 touches, and I'm talking fast because we're already at 40 minutes here, but I've got to share this to you. Sonia is one of the best coaches in network marketing I've ever met. And I started network marketing in 1993. One of the things you shared at the training was that as you follow up with people, when you're on your 4th follow-up, you call them 4 times, and they don't answer. They don't respond. Frustrated. You walk away. You stop contacting them. Let me help everyone understand. That's exactly the time you don't give up. That's exactly the time where you do the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th touch with content, with a funny kids video from your phone app. I could tell you numerous stories. So what Sonia taught, one little thing, this one little vignette, was that when you reach that 4th follow-up, you're thinking, oh, they didn't respond to my text or answer the phone. I guess that's a done deal. I'm never contacting them again. On the contrary, as you're getting frustrated and thinking that person's gone away, they're actually getting more interested because now you've contacted them the 4th time. And on the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, the 8th time, it usually takes 7 touches, someone finally opens their mind to you. That's how it works. So it's the 2 bar graphs, right? Your bar graph's going to the point of, diminishing returns. Their bar graph is going to a point of you're earning their trust. You're earning their trust. You're earning their relationship because now they know not what you know. They don't care about what you know. They care about how much you care about them. And you show that you care about them by sending them a funny kids video, by talking about how's your family this week, by making a brief statement. That's what I wanted to share because I think there's a lot that goes unsaid. I'm about not the unconvention. I'm about the whatever you want to call it, the uncool here, the untruth. You got to think out of the box here and test, retest, find out what works for you, get real clear about the tools you want to work with, and then you create out of all the wonderful tools that Christopher suggested, you figure out which ones are best. I do love that series with Joy, and I send that series to people. That's the series I send to people. I don't send David Sandoval's videos. Why? Let me explain why. And I know most of you are West Coasters. Please don't be offended. A lot of East Coasters don't get West Coasters. I do. I lived in Hawaii 10 years with lots of California people and Oregon people and Colorado people. A lot of East Coasters, they don't get David Sandoval at all. I've had chiropractors say, what's that do with the long hair? Look, point again, perceptions and misperceptions create realities. I'm not about creating realities that don't make, that are, I call them superfluous realities. Conclusions that people come to that are based on opinions or some ridiculous prejudice that have no place in my world, so I don't deal with it. What I do instead is I help them to create a reality that fits perfectly in building a bridge to a relationship with me. And the first question I want to know, not all the rest that I've shared with you guys in past trainings, the first question I want to answer for myself in qualifying someone is this. Do they want to have a relationship with me? Do they want to have a relationship with you, Janae? Do they want to have a relationship with you, Christopher? And you know what? If they don't vibe with you because your hair is too long or your nose is to the side or you're female or you're male or you're, all this garbage, the noise, then you know what? That's not going to be a relationship in your life in this kind of a business. So you get to drive this you get to captain the ship, drive your train here, make it happen and create your reality and answer the qualifying question for yourself, do they really want to have a relationship with me? And we do that by feeding them little tidbits, like I feed them this little interview video. I want to find out just by one video, did they want to have enough of a relationship with me so that they can come back out and say, you know what, I did look at that video, and yeah, so I'm curious, what's this protein? Why did you want to send me that? We have a place now. We have a lounge to chill in and talk like two human beings. This is it, guys. I'm telling you. You can go to the fanciest network marketer trainers in the world and you won't get this. Or maybe you will. But that's what I wanted to share that because it was so clear to me over the last couple of days. Absolutely crystal clear. So that's all, guys. Any questions or comments, and we can close the call when you guys are ready.
I have a question.
Yep. Who's that?
Yeah, it's Doug in Columbia. This is a lot to chew on. You guys have made a recording. Will you be sending it out, Christopher?
Yeah, always. We always try to do that, and it always takes me a couple of days to put it in visuals if I choose to do that, but the answer is yes.
That would really be appreciative. All right, thank you.
You got it, Doug. You got it, man. I appreciate you.
I want to get a ticket to the Chill Lounge.
Chilllounge.com.
No, but I really, I've heard, you hear a lot of things from a lot of different people, and I guess it's really, the timing of when you hear something, but that was really great. I mean, it's really the bottom line is you're right, Michael. Do they want to have a relationship with me? And
Yep.
you can be artistic in developing that relationship with them, and that's where, it's an art form. So you learn your tools, and you pick what you think would work for them. And you're right. Some people are going to think David Sandoval's a freak, so we're not going to send them that video. We'll send them Amy, or we'll send them David Litt, or we'll send them whatever. But it's really customizing. It's really all about them, and that's what you were just talking about. It's really all about them. We need to be transparent, and let them see what we got to help them get the light bulb turned on inside of them. And only they can do that and discover that, and they have to put the switch on. So that was a great training, Michael. I'm so glad we recorded this, and I'll get it out to everyone. Let's see if anybody else has a question or a comment.
This is Janice, and Michael, that was fantastic. You so eloquently put into words something I was talking to someone in my downline about this morning. And, it's that we're not selling, we're connecting. And how do we connect? And so many people are so afraid of how to connect. And I thank you so much. It was very eloquent.
Janice, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Any other questions or comments?
That was great, Michael.
I'll tell you the result of that, Janice and everyone else who's left on the line here. The result of what I'm explaining to all of you is that I've got people, and you will too, have people like other network marketers, because I often connect with network marketers, and I ask them what they're into. I don't try to push Purium on them. I want to find out everything about them. One guy from England sending me some product I never heard of before, but I told him I'm going to research it and I'll get back to you. Now, at the end of it all, you get a chat message from someone who was top of their company, like I got today. My entire organization dissolved because of X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to get into the company or the person or any of that. And she said, I want to talk to you this afternoon. Why? I never made her wrong about her company. She bought some Purium products and didn't like some of them, and I didn't make her wrong about that. In fact, I made her right about it. So these are human communication skills. And the beautiful thing about network marketing, one of the many beautiful things, is that you get to become the best communicator you can be. And communicators in our world today get paid very, very well. So focus on the process, like John Wooden would say. Focus on the process. You'll get very good at communicating, very good at being compassionate and caring, and there's not enough of that to go around in the world. You're high in demand. So that's what I would conclude with.
Awesome call, Michael. Thanks for everyone being on the call today. We'll get a recording. We'll get it out, and this is one of those recordings I could listen to a few times and take notes. Well said, Michael.
Thanks, everybody. Glad to have you all
Thank
here.
you for all
Really
the
appreciate
information.
all of you.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you.